What is up, everybody? How are you doing today? Today we are back here on Te Awaroa, and I decided it's finally time to start the missions. I've heard that they're a good series. I'm really looking forward to seeing what's in them. I've tried to stay away. I haven't watched any videos on people doing the missions. I try not to look at pictures from the missions, so I want to keep it all a nice surprise for these videos. So our first mission is to visit the outpost, um, enter the outpost, visit the lookout tower, and pick up the action camera. So this is the outpost that we're trying to go to, and if I can, there we go. Whew. Sometimes when the mission logo is on the outpost, it's hard to fast travel to them, but this is the outpost we need to go to, so I don't know. I've been really looking forward to doing these missions, so hopefully they're good. I've heard good things about them, so I don't know. We'll find out here
And good
in
for the
just a minute.
environment doesn't have to mean bad for your back. It's pretty cozy inside. Go on, take a look. Not
Alright.
far now. We built these outposts in the early 90s. They got the works, repurposed materials, solar roofs, rainwater tanks. That
The
was
heck?
back when people used to just call you a hippie. Now everything's sustainable. Clean, green, eco-friendly. Hippies. Ha! Try trailblazers.
What is this thing?
See, we got company. That'll be Josh's doing, the brat. I told him to leave things be, but I guess he couldn't resist.
Huh.
Anyway, maybe it's just as well you get used to it. I'll
It's
fill
an
you in
ogre.
later. Right, mate.
Alright.
See that camera on the table? Strap it to your chest and let me explain what exactly you're here for.
Where?
There's a lookout tower not far away, so you can head up there and get a sense of the place while I flap my gums.
I don't see. Is it? Oh, there it is. Okay.
Nice and tight now. Wouldn't want it coming off right when you've got a shot lined up.
Alright. And I'm guessing. Okay, so we need to go to that lookout tower. Okay. Alright.
So, the plan. I want to turn this place into a year-round retreat for hunters like you and Alejandra. So I don't spend most of the year worrying about whether our native plants are going to get overrun by deer again. There's a lot of filmmaking talent out here, and it hasn't been put to good use lately if you ask me. So we're going to make a commercial, show the world there's more to New Zealand than haka and halflings. Who
Alright.
better to demonstrate the thrill of the chase than an experienced hunter like yourself? Te Awaroa's prime was back in the 80s. Most of the other hunters out here are equally long of tooth. We need someone young, new, dynamic. You. The camera will do most of the work, so you just have to make sure it's on when you head out to hunt. We have a couple of strategic locations on our list to get through. But let's get you that view first.
Alright.
There's the lookout tower, just up ahead.
Alright, so looking like this is going to be
You
an
know what
interesting
attracts us?
series already.
Evidence you're not alone out there. Humbling, eh?
Yep, humbling. Very much. Alright, we are at the top of the lookout tower, and I'm a little worried that this won't work because I've already claimed the lookout,
Just
but
take
oh, there
that.
we go. Alright,
Spectacular, isn't it?
yeah, it is.
This eastern area is all rolling hills and conifers. There's a line of mountains in the center of the reserve, and native beech forest, and a lot of rain on the other side.
Alright, so that's over there, the beach forest. Alright, so there we go.
Right, so
First
remember
mission
Josh's
done.
little prank? This place doesn't receive a lot of government funding, unfortunately, and a couple of years ago we were running out of money for field research, and the outposts were in need of sprucing up. Running low. The outposts have ammo of all kinds and more besides. So I guess you could say we made a deal with the devil, the Hollywood devil to be exact. Long story short, they've just wrapped up filming for the final movie they were contracted to do. Some fantasy thing, shiny blade or shimmering dagger or something. Now let me check. Resplendent sword. I'll send you the blurb they gave me. My nephew tells me it's a big deal, but I'd certainly never heard of it before this.
Alright.
Yeah, as nice as it is that Te Awaroa's beauty is up on the wonderful to see, it's come with its share of problems, to say the least. The bigwigs left in a hurry, and we got left with a bunch of basically intact movie sets scattered here and there all over the reserve. Well, I'm telling you all of this because Josh just rang me up and said that he spotted another set on his way back. Not far from where I wanted you to try filming your first hunt. Could I trouble you to go clear it out? We can't run the risk of any of the props from the film featuring in our footage. Cheers.
Alright, so it looks like we need to go to the movie set over that way, and then I don't know what we're going to do once we get there. So she wants us to clear it away, basically get rid of it. Alright, well, let's go on ahead, hop on the ATV and get a move on.
What a mess. If I'd known this was gonna happen, I never would have agreed to it. This isn't even the worst of it. Right, let's take it one by one. Just bundle them into crates and I'll get someone to swing by later and transport them out of the reserve.
Okay.
Are those real oranges? Good enough to eat, eh? Quite the medieval fare. Looks more than a bit incongruous out here if you ask me.
Well, is that everything? Anything else? Don't see much. Maybe this right here.
I hope it didn't have an actual fire in that thing. Imagine if some silly townie kid had wandered over here and decided it would be a good idea.
Alright, so anything else? I don't see. Oh. This? No? I don't see anything else. How odd. Okay. I don't see anything left, maybe? Not 100% sure. Oh, saw an interact button.
That's the last of them.
There we are.
What's that note? Props list. Foam statue of haughty elf standing prow, 9 foam warriors, 8 golden goblets, 3 green screens. This reads like a Christmas carol. See any of those? Bit dodgy. Townies must have been up here. Well, even though this isn't our mess to clean up, I should probably ask around and see if anyone knows what's happened to the missing props. The last thing we need is to get blamed for this.
Sure.
Maybe they did a very selective sweep. I'll see if anyone has a bigwig's numbers. Thanks for your help, Ihor. Let's move on.
Alright. What, maybe, shall we have to do next? Reach Lake Wakatiti.
Before you head off and film your hunts, first we've got to set the scene, so to speak.
Wakaiti.
The marketing team's looking for some photos for the reserve website. Something to give people a taste of what this place has to offer. Now that we've dealt with that bloody mess, you think you could head over to Lake Wakaiti and snap a few shots for us? There's a willow tree there growing right out of the water that all the influencers or whatever they call themselves go bonkers for. It does make for a good photo op, I'll give it that.
Alright, so it looks like we're going back over here to the lake, and maybe, hopefully, we can find this willow tree that she's talking about and get a picture of it.
If you're wondering why there's no one around, it's because the reserve is officially closed to visitors for the foreseeable future. And definitely conducting emergency field research, we said. If that's what it takes to get the day trippers to clear out for a hot minute, so be it.
Alright.
I swear I haven't seen this place so deserted in about 10 years. It's lovely, actually. Even if I can only experience it through you. We used to camp out here when I was little. Tramp over from the other side. Me and a gaggle of other kids carrying backpacks bigger than our whole bodies. Not much of that lifestyle left these days. I miss it sometimes. Don't fall in now. Wouldn't be the first time that's happened to you.
Alright.
That'll do. It's looking well. We had some hoon try to saw off one of the branches a few weeks ago. Can you believe? Well, luckily someone managed to talk him out of it. Sometimes wedding parties will have the brides come up and sit on it. Wade right into the water and soak those dear dresses. That tree is 80 years old. Started started off as a stray branch nailed to a fence. It's a tribute to tenacity, if you ask me.
Alright.
Right. Now for our next destination. Head down to the shoreline. There's a set of huge boulders there that have to be seen to be believed. I know what you're thinking. She's showing me some rocks. But trust me on this one.
She's showing me some rocks. Alright, well let's go down here and
buzzing with natural activity.
see what all these boulders are about.
They used to be. You get more and more rubbish washed up all over the place lately. You know, bits of plastic pallets, run off from factories further north. I swear I've seen tin cans with Australian brand names. We do our best, but we can't always prevent the poor critters ending up with junk in their bellies. Anyway, that's the situation. I'll get back to you when you arrive. Just gonna head off for a minute and make some tea.
Alright, so let's see what these boulders are all about.
That's better. Nothing like a good old Kiwi herbal blend to sort the head out.
Alright. It actually seems to be a tent down here for whatever reason, and some chairs and stuff, but there's the boulders that she was talking about. Alright. Don't see any fallow deer. I think their drink time's over. But we're not here to worry about them. We're here to do some missions. But I think, hopefully, the dialogue will trigger in just a second. I think we're almost close enough. Maybe.
Oh, look at
Here we go.
this. Couldn't help themselves, could they? One last hurrah before we shut the place down. This really can't wait, mate. There's a little blue penguin population nesting not far from here, and they'll gladly take this for food. Okay, that looks manageable. Let's clean this up and take the photo. Then we can talk hunting again.
Wow, did that actually come?
Well, as you can imagine, being featured in a host of box office hits has done wonders for our profile with tourists. Problem is, a lot of the people who come are just here to take a few photos, dump a heap of rubbish, and then leave unceremoniously. So we end up with messes like this one. I'd like to say that we've become the victim of our own success, but that's letting me off the hook. Right, there should be a stand over on the other end of the beach with rubbish bags and a picker.
This right here, I'm guessing, is what it is. Oh, that's what this
We
was.
went to all the trouble of installing these, and they still couldn't be bothered.
Nice. And then I guess now we're gonna pick up the trash.
Looks like they had quite the little feast.
Alright. Then leave the trash at the stand. Okay. So bring it back over here. I guess there's still trash here.
These kids would have nightmares if you showed them some of what I've seen out here. Birds with stomachs so full of plastic they can't eat. South Island University. I knew it. Way too many people around here who have never respected this place.
Alright, and there we go.
Leave them over by the stand. You made quick work of it.
Alright, that went 2 dialogues at once there. That was
That's a perfectly
interesting.
usable tent. No sense wasting it. Anyway,
Why-
I've had enough of this. And we
Why
need
did
to
we just
ensure
make
that we're
the tent?
attracting the right kinds of tourists, not just day trippers from Christchurch out on their school holidays. It's okay for people to come here and leave no trace, but it'd be better if we could rely on them to help us with our conservation goals.
Why
So
did we
hunters
just
seem
move
like
the
the natural
tent?
target audience. Our deer and goat populations need constant culling. And you better believe I've more faith in people who love the wilderness to respect the place than kids up to no good. At the risk of sounding like an old fusspot. Speaking of, let's do what we came to do and grab that photo.
Alright. Why did we just like go through all the trouble to pick up the tent there and just put it right back there? Why? I don't understand. But whatever.
Lovely use of lighting. I may have to hire you to help out on my next book project, if I ever finish the current one. There's a lot of theories about where these boulders came from. Volcanic activity, lightning, even aliens. I've heard had them all over the years. The boffins will tell you they were formed over 60 million years ago on the sea floor, like pearls. But that's not the whole story. When people first arrived in New Zealand, they took their staple crop with them, kumara, otherwise known as sweet potato. Unfortunately for them, the weather in this part of the country isn't exactly conducive to growing much, and the tubers withered and died. So they sent word to the Polynesian homeland, and a canoe set sail with a hardier crop. But it was caught in an intense storm just off the east coast. Each wave that struck it was so large that it made a new hill. Those are the ones you'll see further inland, and all of the cargo went overboard.
Nice.
And that's what these boulders are. Petrified kumara, eel baskets, calabashes. The canoe itself formed the reef further up. Moral of the story? Things have long shelf lives. A lesson I wish someone had taught those kids. Right, feeling warmed up? Good. It's time for you to show me what you can do.
Alright, okay, whew. Alright, there we go.
Camera on? Then you should have everything you need.
Yeah,
I got Josh to set it up.
be quiet.
He told me to tell you that it's state-of-the-art equipment.
Alright, not going away with her anymore. She just talks and talks and talks. I'm sorry if that got boring there for a minute, guys, but she would not shush up. Alright, well, I believe, I will double check real quick, but yep, that is 4 missions, and I'm pretty sure that this mission series has 16, so we'll make this a 4 video series. So I hope you all enjoyed this video. Hopefully these missions turn out to be as good as I have heard, and I'm looking forward to continuing. So hope you have a wonderful rest of your day, and I will see you next time.